I'm Nick Garcia's loan officer assistant, and he probably over a couple years ago started forming a kind of relationship partnership with Melissa Hudson from your team, and then her communication was so great with Nick whenever he would send a referral to her to get the help, and he would give her, you know, I need them to improve here. I need them to get here. I need them to get here. And then she would do such a good job communicating back with Nick how they would meet those milestones. And so over the last few years, she's become our go-to, and it's great because when we give her specific instructions, she actually like follows up with the client and makes sure that they're hitting the marks. And then we have a process of following up with the client or the lead as well, about once a month to check in and see, how are you doing? Are you making progress? Have you followed the steps given to you and stuff like that? So she's been great. So that's one aspect that we use.
And do you find that does Nick get the email communication, or do you get the email communication that triggers that follow up with the customer?
Yeah, so Nick is really the loan advisor. He's the strategist
Mm-hmm.
that's working with the client to really talk them through if there's obstacles to overcome. So he is the one that will communicate directly with Melissa, and he is
Got
the
it.
one that kind of builds out the roadmap for the client if they're going to go on what we call the longer journey. But it becomes such a great selling point, first of all, to our leads or our referrals or clients, because in our initial conversations with them, we really do communicate with them, especially once we run credit. If we see that there's going to be some skeletons in their closet that they have to deal with, we assure them in the beginning that our goal is to go on the long journey with them. And we're even willing to hold their hand through that journey because we're not interested in just kind of pushing for an instant closing. We want them to get to their goal. And Nick is that kind of advisor and strategist that is willing to go on that journey to get them to the goal. So then that just creates such a great sense of a buy-in from the lead's point of view. Like they really become our clients before they've even qualified, which is cool. And then the other thing that I've been noticing that you and I talked about real quick was we really are seeking to develop realtor partnerships. Nick developed a system to bring in realtors to be partners, and then I get the privilege of being one of the first contacts when I'm calling the realtors. And right now, I've noticed in the last few months, realtors are telling me they're getting like 8 calls a day from lenders that are wanting to form partnerships with them. And that's
Wow.
tough. It's really tough.
Yeah.
And they're like, I'm just one in a haystack calling them. But where I've experienced a breakthrough in actually capturing the interest of the realtor is when I start talking to them about some of the extra steps Nick takes to go on the journey with their referrals, especially the ones that don't immediately qualify. And when they start to hear that, and especially when they're interested and then they meet with Nick and they see what he's developed to take them on the journey, they begin to go, oh my gosh, if I send a referral to Nick's team and my referral doesn't immediately qualify, they're not just going to pass him over. They're actually going to nurture my referral. And sometimes we've had it where 8 months later, a referral that a realtor gave us is ready and they
Yep.
get that business. And so then that becomes such a win with realtors because they're like, these guys aren't just going to seek to immediately qualify my referrals. They're going to nurture them. They're looking after them. And then in some ways, we kind of win all their business because now they're like, well, I want to send all my referrals to them. And so it's become such a magical secret sauce for our team where Nick is he's just doing such a good job. And it's really been helpful in forming the realtor partnerships when I feel like everybody is trying to fight for realtor partnerships. So we really
Listen, I
appreciate
love
you
being
guys.
that secret sauce. Yeah, I love being that secret sauce. Keep it coming. Oh, that's great. That is wonderful. Look, I really appreciate you sharing that because that's why we are here.